Welcome, 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 welcome. Knife skills, and this, of course, is a food and nutrition keep unit one class, and we are in August 2025. Awesome. So we're going to be looking at these objectives, and as you can see at the end of the lesson, students should be able to define the term knife, describe at least four types of knife and their uses in food preparation, list at least four parts of a knife, discussed at least three knife skills, and pair. And we're moving on to our definition. And here you can see where a knife is a handheld cutting tool consisting of a sharp edge blade attached to a handle, right? Used for slicing, chopping, dicing, and various other food preparation tasks. Now, knife comes in different shapes and size, designs for specific culinary purposes, such as cutting meat, proper knife care, and ensure that safety, efficiency, and precision that can be smooth or serrated. The edge of the knife. When you look at the edge of the knife, the sharpened side for the blade, right? The spine, just like a book has a spine, the knife also has a spine. Alright, so we're looking at that and we see it's the unshortened back of the blade, providing strength. The heel, heel, the rear part of the used for top cutting, that is for bolster, of course, of the knife is that part of the blade, and the handle, adding balance, and we have the tongue, method extension. Over here, so we have knife skills over here, and we use the knife to do some garnishes and just to set up a nice plate of fruits. And so you can see that having a sharp knife, having a good knife, will allow you to be creative in your kitchen, and when you're doing your presentation it can look as lovely as these presentations. All right, so we did some slices, as you can see, we did some carving, as you can see the leaves there, and we did some flowers over here with our cucumber, our slices, we did some gelenes, we did some cubes, and all of that. And of course you can go further into research and see the different types of skills that these knives can do. Now, we need to take care of our knives, right? Yes. So we have our knife skills and we have how is it that we take care of our knife, right? And on our screen right here, the rock and roll motion, right? Using our chef knife to trap, with a back and forth motion. And I'm going to be doing a video showing you those motion. So I want you to subscribe and follow me as you go along in your daily research. All right, and Julene, of course, earlier you can go back to the pictures and identify what were the Julene types, and you can identify the chiffonade type, you can identify the dicing, the mincing, and all of that. Now, how do we take care of our knives? Right? Keep our knives sharp. We have to ensure that our knives are very, very sharp. All right? Our knife must be sharp. Okay? Sharp knives. Sharp, 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 sharp knives. All right? And of course, and of course, keep your knife sharp. Using a sharp knife or a sharp stone or boning steel. Um, Hand washed only. And what happens is that you avoid the dishwasher to prevent any dulling, because that can cause dulling in our knife. Store them properly. Store these knives properly. Use knife blocks and magnetic strips to store a knife, and use the right cutting boards, right, to get your thing as precise as possible. So wood or plastic can prevent blade damage. All right. And with all of that I've just mentioned, I would have gone through maybe 6 minutes of all of that. So what you can do now, from what you have learned, I prepared two simple activities for you. And of course, with those activities, the information before these slides, you can go back and look, and you can label your knife. Remember, earlier would have talked about the different parts of our knives, right? So you can go back and look, and just for practice, to know exactly where are the different parts on your knives. When you're through with that, of course, you can just ta-da, second activity, just to give yourself practice to find out how this knife these knives in our kitchen, which is so essential when we are preparing our meal preparation. So you're going to look now and see, what is the purpose of a chef knife in food preparation? Name two types of knives and describe their uses. Why is it important to keep a sharp or a knife sharp or a sharp knife? Yes. What is the best way to hold the knife safely when cutting? Explain the difference between trapping and dicing. Right? What type of knife would you use to slice bread, and why? Describe the claw grip technique and its importance. And then, why should knife be stored properly instead of being left in the sink? Very important there, very important. All right. What is the safest way to pass a knife to someone else? So you see, you can do further research and answer these questions. It was nice being with you today. It was really nice being with you today, and we were looking at knife skills. This is a part of the knife skill activities and lesson. You can join next time for part two. Have a blessed day. Remember to like, subscribe to my channel. Bye bye.